In 2004, Sal Khan was working at a small hedge fund in Boston when he learned that his 12-year-old cousin Nadia was having trouble in math.
She said, yeah, I'm just not good at math, was her own self-perception. She'd taken a placement test the previous year. It had put her into a slower math track. So I told Nadia, I am 100% sure you are capable of understanding math. And so I offered to tutor her every day after work for me, after school for her, half an hour, 45 minutes. Slowly but surely, frankly, I had to deprogram her lack of self-confidence. Then she got caught up with her class. The same Nadia, who only a few months ago was put into a slow math track, was now put into an advanced math track.
Soon, Sal was tutoring cousins and family friends across the country. He noticed a pattern.
They had gaps in their knowledge. The first time that they learned it, they just never mastered it. Or in some cases, you master it for the test, and then you forget it, and it atrophies. And now all of a sudden you have to apply the same skills in the algebra. It's very difficult. Maybe software could play a role here. I started writing a little tool that would generate questions in these areas that I saw a lot of my cousins were having gaps and give them instant feedback. It would let me as their tutor know what they were getting wrong or right, how long it was taking them, when they were doing it. And that, I called it Khan Academy. If this could help the 15 cousins and family friends, why couldn't it one day help 15 million people? Or why couldn't it help 1 billion people? A little bit grandiose at the time. What if we can start to think about a new type of institution that could exist virtually and that could reach people all over the world? And so that's where, with Khan Academy, I said, I never want anyone to question the motives here. And I never want it to lose focus on this mission of free world-class education for anyone, anywhere.
In 2006, a friend of Sal's suggested he scale his lessons by making videos and posting them on YouTube.
Hydrogen would contribute an electron to one of these pairs. My cousins famously told me they liked me better on YouTube than in person, which I took as positive feedback. But then clearly a lot of other people started watching. And so this was a central idea of Khan Academy. In some ways, yes, on-demand videos, that is a form of personalization. You can watch what you need at any time. It doesn't have to be a 60-minute lecture. It could be a 5-minute explanation, intervention, pause, repeat. But even more, if you're able to get exercises, and based on how you perform on that exercise, and you get immediate feedback, and then you can try something more difficult, or then you can realize, wait, I think I have gaps here. I need to work on that. And so now if I'm a teacher, I can have all the students learn at their own time and pace on a platform like Khan Academy, get more data in real time than teachers have ever had access to, and then say, look, these 5 kids are struggling. Even though they've had the videos, the hints, the feedback, the exercises, they need more help. So let me now sit with these 5 kids and do a much more focused intervention.
By 2009, 50 to 100,000 people were using Khan Academy every month.
It just felt like if I was able to put all of my energies into this could be something that could reach a lot of folks. And so that's when in 2009, I quit my day job, took the plunge. It was hard for it to fit in a pattern that people recognize. It was a tech thing, but it was a not-for-profit. It has this big mission. And so I think that created a lot of dissonance in a lot of early philanthropists' minds. Just when things were getting darkest by mid-2010, all of a sudden we started to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Some major philanthropists really stepped up. And then all of a sudden a $10,000 donation came in. And I immediately see who it is. Her name is Ann Doer. I immediately email Ann. I say, thank you so much for this incredibly generous donation. This is the largest donation that Khan Academy has ever received. If we were a physical school, you would now have a building named after you. And Ann immediately responds back. And she's like, I see that you're local. I'd love to buy you lunch sometime. And Ann asks me over lunch, so what's your goal here? And I told her, free world-class education for anyone, anywhere. That's the mission statement. And Ann said, well, you're making a surprising amount of progress. I only have quite one question. How are you supporting yourself? And in as proud of a way as possible, I said, I'm not. I drive home to my house in Mountain View, about 10, 15 minutes away. And while I'm driving into my driveway, I get a text message from Ann, and it says, you really need to be supporting yourself. I've just wired you $100,000. And so you can imagine, that was a good day, just a little bit. and obviously the money mattered, because it allowed me to say, hey, wow, I could now take a salary, at least enough to support my expenses.
In July of 2010, Bill Gates praised Khan Academy in an interview at the Aspen Ideas Festival.
My favorite vignette is that guy, Salman Khan. He was a hedge fund guy, making lots of money, and he quit to do these little web videos.
And I'm watching this, and I'm like, is this really happening? Is this when am I gonna wake up? I was shaking. I was like, And I remember showing it that night at dinner, I showed it to my wife. I was like, what do I do now? Do I call him? Where's his number? Like, I'm assuming he's not listed. Like, how do I? And 2 weeks later, I get my cell phone rings. I see it's a Seattle number. Hello? Hi, this is Larry Cohen. I'm Bill Gates' chief of staff. You might have heard that Bill's a fan. Yeah, I heard that. And if you're free over the next few weeks, we'd love to fly up to Seattle and learn more about what you're doing and maybe ways that we can partner. So I went up there, and the meeting was eerily similar to the meeting with Ann. And that happened coincident with folks from Google reaching out. It turns out they too were using Khan Academy. Now Google and the Gates Foundation had each given almost $2 million each to let Khan Academy scale. We got office space not too far from the Computer History Museum here on Castro Street to start making it a real institution.
Today, Khan Academy has 139 million registered users and reaches learners in 190 countries and 51 languages. Sal has also founded Khan Lab School and Schoolhouse.world, a peer-to-peer tutoring platform.
But if I were to ask any of us, what percent of the population do you think is capable of quantum computing research? What percent of the population is capable of starting the next Google or writing the next great novel or writing a screenplay? Most people would say, well, right now that's like sub 1%, maybe 10%, 20% with a great education system. But my biggest surprise, I see year after year, people that have all been written off or actually have been written off, if they're allowed the opportunity, the incentive to fill in their gaps, to master concepts, prove what they know, they can do all of the above.